Well, is the Tea Party going into fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, you can't get fooled again mode? That's the real question. I mean, I mentioned two possibilities for the Tea Party, and this is a perfect example. Rand Paul would like to stick to what he said, maybe. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. In theory, he believes what he said. But hey, because of the political situation, he has to be realistic, a.k.a. he wasn't during his campaign, and he'll join up with the regular old Republicans with what they want. But remember, the Tea Party is totally different than the Republican Party, Lewis.
Big change.
So we're seeing those two options. A, the Tea Party candidates will be folded into the Republican Party because of political convenience and necessity, and by 2012 will be indistinguishable. Or we are actually going to see them, the Tea Party candidates, be separate from the Republican Party, but basically not be part of politics. I mean, what is the Tea Party by itself going to be able to pass in either the House or Senate? What influence could they really have on the things that neither Democrats nor Republicans have the political will to pass?
With their current numbers, they won't accomplish anything.
I think we know the answer.
Right.
It's zero. So we had a poll on davidpakman.com for the last week. How effective will the Tea Party winners be at passing the changes they promised? 64%, about 2-to-1 margin, 64% saying not very effective or not effective at all. And 36% saying very effective or at least somewhat effective. So by about a 2-to-1 margin, Lewis, people are saying the Tea Party is not going to be effective. And this is no surprise, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, what did you expect? In the best of cases, you would have Christine O'Donnell making legislation. And in the worst of cases, you would have nothing happening. And maybe I'm getting best and worst reversed, to be completely honest. I don't know. And speaking of Tea Party candidates, Joe Miller in Alaska, just to follow up on the votes are still being counted out there, Lewis. And it's a interesting situation that's developing because it's clear that Lisa Murkowski will win this, and she was a write-in candidate. Now, we had some confusion because as a write-in candidate, her last name to some is not that easy to spell. And, of course, pregnant chads, not filling the line completely, or spelling the name wrong, all could get your vote disqualified, as we know. Now, they're counting these votes one by one, and as of today, Thursday, they still hadn't counted them all, but it's clear that she has a big advantage over Tea Party or Joe Miller, and the votes are being contested. The candidates each have people there looking at each vote and saying, nope, I don't agree with that, nope, I don't agree with that. And what I read is that intent actually has to be taken into consideration with these. So, for example, if I write in Lisa Murkowski, but instead of spelling it M-U-R, I spell it M-E-R. If that vote isn't counted, it's pretty clear, and I think legally you could make the argument that my intent is to vote for candidate Lisa Murkowski, the write-in candidate that has received many votes.
Right.
So am I being disenfranchised if my vote is disqualified because of one letter being wrong? Because it's pretty clear what my intent was it not?
Right. If you inject any rationale into the equation, clearly that's what you were going for.
Well, if there's any indication as to what many of these Tea Party candidates want, Joe Miller is angry that rationale is being injected. Joe Miller does not want...
Oh, he wants to win.
He doesn't want intent to be taken into consideration. And, if you miss a letter, does that mean your vote is canceled? Not by the intent rule. And Joe Miller's people are contesting even correctly spelled ballots where the handwriting's not totally clear. But he has no chance. He is going to eventually lose, and that's that. But, I mean, come on, we have to have some system, Lewis, where
right. I think we should take like a 5-year-old, or maybe let's say a 7-year-old, and have them look at it. And if they can draw a conclusion from it, then that is...
I like that, Lewis.
Yeah, right?
The 7-year-old rule. If we get a bunch of 7-year-olds to count the ballots, if they can get the gist of what the voter intended, that is really the barometer. I mean, it makes perfect sense in the sense that when we start overanalyzing, well, were they disenfranchised? M-E-R, M-U-R. I mean, a 7-year-old can discern the intent of voters.
Can say, this looks like Murkowski.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
The David Pakman Show is made possible by listeners like you and by Greenfield Savings Bank, building a strong community one account at a time, with neighborhood offices in Greenfield, Amherst, Conway, Shelburne Falls, South Deerfield, and Turners Falls, and online at greenfieldsavings.com. By the Daily Hampshire Gazette and GazetteNet.com, connecting our communities with local news and information. By DIF Design, specializing in custom business websites at DIFdesign.com. Find out more about underwriting The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.